Hello, everybody. Welcome back into the Dragon's Den. Hey, Jedi Spidey, how's it going? How's it going? Things are going great with us. We're doing well. We had a great day today. We got a visit from our good friends Avia and Clover. This is the first time Clover's been here at the store, so that was really kind of cool and it's nice to have them visit. Lots of good people by today, so hope everyone's having a great day. Hey there, Howie DeWitt, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well as well. So today we're going to continue working on the Unimog and trying to finish out the cab. So if you remember, we got a good ways on our cab. We got everything enclosed, back panel and all, and we got in all of our seats and our dash. So we're going to be building the doors, finishing out the front of the cab, and then if we can get to it, we'll start putting on some of the accoutrements on the cab. I hope everyone's doing well this evening. Hey, Eagle the Dragon, how's it going? Weekend's going well. Weather's been good so far. It was a little hot today. Not too crazy bad though. I'm curious to see if we get any rain tonight. And I will post some pictures. Yeah, I have a big, huge folding table. Like it was an 8-foot, 4-foot or 8-foot, or excuse me, 6-foot or 8-foot folding table. Got all of the camper stuff laid out on it. I've been working, putting some of that together. Sorry, you can't see my face. Give me 1 second. Okay, I was just hearing a clicking, and it's the cable chain on the X1C that's catching ever so slightly as it goes to the back right corner and then hits the side panel fairly hard. But it's all good. Working on. So we're going to swap back over here so we have our instructions. And let me see what we're going to do. For now, I'm going to move this off over here onto the chair. It's going to sit here just nicely. And we're going to grab our door panels. And we're going to need some frames. Now you've got two kind of frames that look the same. You've got a, once again, a thin frame with a little flange on it. And then you've got a thicker frame. Thin frame with the flange goes down here on the inside of your windows. Make sure that it's all the way seated. And they are not the same, so make sure you get the right one in the right window. Then we'll need our windows themselves. Did I already pull those out? Oh, there they are. Web Force Designs. You'll definitely need to see you this coming week. Sounds good. Just let us know what what day you're coming and what it is you're looking for. We can get you squared away there. You. And Spidey, I did just see your post on Discord right before coming on stream, and those totems look amazing. And have you seen the latest files that they've made available over at our friends Titan 3D? Okay. The one window panel, and drop it in. It should drop straight down in there. Hey, Timor, welcome in. Hey, Tripod, how's it going? This is a complex RC build, and I know I talked to Tripod out at Midwest Rep Rap Festival, and it sounded like Tripod was going to do a Unimog, but from a different designer. So the window inserts go in, and then we're going to take our thicker one. These are same, so it doesn't matter which side you put in. Again, I have a little bit of a zit right there on that corner. That is from the start and stop of a layer. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. Hey, Projects and Dad's Garage, how's it going? Is this the Printers Anonymous group? Something along that lines. Something along that line. I'm trying to get as much as I can printed for projects right now because I'm about to have to start using specific printers to do large custom jobs. Hey, Evil Diesel, how's it going? Long time no see. Your print is going on your printer per your request. Hey, Free Heathen, how's it going? Welcome in. Yeah, Spidey for sure. Exactly. Exactly. I saw that and I was like, yep. I'm pretty sure he's going to be building that, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be building one as well. Hey, Ram, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. You're going to be doing one from Mushroom 3D. Was already committed to it well before the LDO kit came out. Yep. Awesome. Yeah. Alive and kicking. But I hope everyone's doing well this evening. I know there's a lot of streamers going on right now. We got Penguin Makers is over working on his Micron. I believe Canuck Creators should be coming online here, or is online right now working on his Unimog. Okay, one M2 by 10, pay attention to the orientation. Ah, awesome. Give me 1 second. I grabbed the screwdriver. I didn't grab the 3 bins of screws that I took over to the other table while I was working on the camper shell. diesel. I don't know if there is a event there tonight at the home or just an outdoor concert or what, but there's a lot of people walking around the shop right now. Okay, once again, we need to pay attention to the orientation. These are going to make the door hinges. All right, so we do 2 in one direction and 2 in the other. Or you're getting famous? Yeah, I think there's got to be an event going on. I mean, I'll take being famous, but I really think it's just there's an event going on somewhere. My mic just went crazy. Here, how about we do that and we just stick the mic down there. That way it doesn't go as crazy. Keep spiking. Okay. It's either my beard's getting in the way or I cut the beard and now I'm too loud. It's like $300 again on total stuff, but colors got probably the stand up for cancer streams. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I keep forgetting about that going on. Nice. Still in top clips. Doesn't surprise me. Hey, Phantom, how's it going? Welcome on in. Nothing on the calendar this weekend? Okay. Okay. Now we're going to install a couple of these. We're going to be going into this door panel. And we're going to come in this way with our hinge. Make sure that we get the right hinge. So the orientation of the hinge. And this is the fun part because it has to get shoved in there a decent amount. Go ahead and do both of them. So both of these hinges get pushed all the way in, and then we're going to put a screw in them. We're going to hold them there and give them some stability. Here's the M2x6s that we're going to use. Took me a month. You have a lot of printers up and running. Hope you didn't just jinx the printers. So Phantom, I do want to say thanks for letting me know about that auction that was going on. I did not participate simply because the stuff that I would have went after would have been all of the, like the back end stuff, the shipping supplies and things. Buying printers from a company that's getting out of the business that made printers might not have been a good thing because, well, there's no support, and I'm now supporting them. Can't really resell them. So, Tinkering Techie, welcome in. These pieces now. Use this piece. Going to go in this orientation. So you have the two holes over here, one hole on this side, kind of with the pop out for an armrest. And that's going to go over here on this side. So this whole area right here goes over that one screw that we just put in on a hinge. That'll lay in there like that. The other one will lay in there that. And 2x8s. Can you get everything for like $300 for this truck? No. Well, if you self-source and do a lot of AliExpress, maybe. So the kit is $600. Now there is a light version of the kit that is coming out that will not have the electronics. So no transmitter, no receiver, battery or battery charger, right? But the not sure about the motor and the servos, if it still comes with that or not. I don't think it does. So there is a lower cost version for those in the RC community that have a lot of stuff already. But yeah, the vast majority of the hardware that you're going to get in this is going to be all the screws and the bearings. And then, you know, you get some filament in the transparent clear, the transparent yellow, and the transparent red. Do the headlights and stuff. And the tires is pretty good. Got armrest handle pieces. Of course, the screws are going to come in from this side. Going to order the Micro Swiss Flowtech hot end for Creality, but there is one downside. You can find someone that can help me firmware those. Use V code. Yeah. Yeah, probably 600 to 1,000 with all the details. Yeah, so when you start figuring out the filament, especially on, you know, if you do the basic, right? Just the cab with the flatbed, it's not too bad. When you start doing the camper, I think the camper alone adds a couple of kilos of filament. It's not a inexpensive addition, right? Yeah, you need to change the firmware to allow for hotter. How you doing over there, Tinkering Techie? It almost felt like a maker meetup today. I got here early, and like I said, I was working on putting all the outer panel pieces together for the camper shell, and then Avia and Clover showed up, and this is Clover's first time being at the store since we had keys and we were just looking from the outside, through the windows. So gave the nickel tour and everything, and then came in and wound up working on a couple of printers, just chatting and chilling. Now we're going to add some door panel pieces. These pieces here. This is the top of the lower pouch with cup holder. So we're going to add one of these to each side. So we're going to go on with M2 by 8. Yeah. Yeah, Avia was coming by today because we needed to get some refills of the leaflet juice. So we got those in today. We got like 30 of them. So we got some stock there. And they stayed over here and were just chilling out while they were waiting for Amazon package to be delivered. And once they got noticed that was delivered, they had to bounce. Final lower piece of the door. This is going to make the rest of the little door pockety thing. And M2 by 12. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing a tank, I'm assuming that will most likely be out of a lot of metal. I can imagine, but I'm just saying, cost-wise, you've got at least another 7 kilos of filament. So that's additional cost of buying the filament and then all the print time. So when you really look at the cost of one of these, it's not just the cost of all the parts and the cost of the filament. You also have to look at all the time you take to put it together, all the time to print, and what that costs as far as wear and tear on the printers and everything. Oh, you're saying that to Ram? Gotcha. Need to print an 18 band? Yeah, that'll be cool. Right, and then we've got our little door handles here. and we'll have a screw on one side, other side flip. The clip's going to go in this end, and the screw will go down here. That clip kind of align. Both those on there in 2x6. We're going to do some mirrors. Yep. Yeah, it's a decent amount of money, but like I said, the value for what you get in this kit is kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy for the value you get, the amount of parts and stuff in this kit. Okay, so a couple of these parts will go to the hood, front window. These will be the mirrors themselves. Back. There we go. I think I'm working. So what we're going to be looking at is got our two mirror pieces printed flat like this, and what we're going to do is just flip them over so that we've got the side that printed on facing up. We're going to put an M2 by 12 screw in the bottom of each one, and this is going to be a reinforcing. Or you called the shop the other day, but you got your issue fixed? Not a problem. I didn't. No worries. Yeah, some of those toys are kind of out of the price range of won't be sleeping at the shop for a while because I got kicked out of my own house. So got both sides of the frame here. Supposed to do the other side. Now we're going to mount these on the door in 2x10. And the screw on the reinforced edge here goes towards the hinge. So the screw head on the reinforced edge, the screw that we just put in, is facing towards the hinge when we do this. Here's one. I'm going to do the other one. This I'm going to swap. Okay. Now we're going to come from the inside of the door jamb here with an 8mm. Be careful. Be able to see right there, but I did just crack that channel right. Be careful when you're using your electric screwdriver. Really, really easy to break a pin. All right, now tells us here to start off and print the first layer in a silk gray, or in the case that I did on the other one, I used silver. Right now, these are just plain all black. Right, I did not do the dual color here. I may reprint these, or I may put something else on here. Either hit it with one of those paint markers in silver or something, but we'll see. See what I decide to do. And you'll have these little highlight rings. They're just going to go right over the edge. That'll make your frame for your mirror. Once again, you can pop that off, color this in with a marker, and then put your highlight rings back on. Highlight rings, frames, whatever. So bad I sent Evil Diesel's that Hunter face. Yep. Yeah, and I saw Evil Diesel respond. I apologize. He managed to get to it before I did. It's been a little crazy this week. Like, Sleep and me have been like quarreling people. Like I said, I'll figure out what I'm going to do on the front of these and make a decision. If I do reprint them, it's not that long, and it'd only be the first layer that would get a color change. So you do the first layer one color, and then it changes. So we start with smaller mirror on the bottom, telling us to work on this door, and the side with the one hole, right? Side with the one hole, this side, is on the outside of the door. Means we're going to mount it on there and clamp that. And with that clamp, I'll just put it on the door frame for right now. And M2x8s. I'm just getting these kind of close, and then I'll finish them off with, doing them by hand. Left with. Go ahead and do the other door now. Once again, the single screw is away from the door panel. Figure out between using that filler gauge and your. Found out the issue is that the auto bed level is deck setting the all set right. Had to go old school, set it with a, yep, set a feeler gauge. Yes. Another tool that Evil Diesel and I just recently acquired is a set of thread gauges, right? So we get a lot of people bringing things in here and wanting us to try and recreate some parts. And it's kind of hard because we don't know, like, this, what is the thread pitch on this thing, so we know what size heat set insert we might use in it. Because we don't want to say, oh, well, we put an M4 insert in it and it winds up being like, oh, it's supposed to be a 3/8 and whatever the thread is for a 3/8 or something, So we want it to work with the hardware that they already have rather than have to have them go and go find new hardware. Especially if it's something that they already have other pieces for it and they're just trying to get something recreated. That one, this one seems like it has a little bit more gap than this one did. We're going to try and see if we can't all about aesthetics. All right. What's up next? Got all three of the mirrors, all four of the mirrors on. Doors. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and install doors. So let's move some things around. So we can bring that back over. And what we're gonna do, because these are the hinges are on the outside of the door, I'm gonna kind of come at it from a really, we'll say, obtuse angle here. Work on the doors. Come around some so that you can break those hinges in a little bit. And then this piece right here, this is awesome. So this little piece on the door latches in right there. That's what locks that door in. And then there's a little lip here, which you're going to use to basically get a hold of it and pop your door open. Yeah, it's going to take a couple of times to get everything broken in and not just broken. But you will be able to open and close these doors fairly easily. Go ahead and do the second one. Both set. That hinge a little bit. Go. Both doors now installed. Okay, what's up next? One, door two. All right, we're going to do some more cabinets. We're running out of things to put together here. Goes off to the side. I'm going to consolidate. So 3 spots. No. Going to go with M2 by 10s. Just going to get my thread through just a little bit, and that'll help line me up. love the windshield, the window. I think it's first for me to see one. Can't wait to see it in person. Exactly. There we go. There is an alternative grill if you only have like an A1 Mini. And you use the pegs and do two sides in the middle and just join everything together. Now we've got a race piece here that's going to go along the back. You want this little notch piece to be facing towards the top. And 2x12. Alrighty. Part's done. 2x12 from the ends, 2x12 in the middle. I kind of middle then ends, but okay. M2x12 from the top on either side of this piece for reinforcing screws. And if y'all don't mind, give me 1 second. I am going to go check printers. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know if you noticed, but there was kind of a long blink of the lights. So I just want to make sure that none of the printers took that as an offense. Okay, so this is the same setup we had on the doors to hold the doors closed and to lock the doors closed. So this is going to mount up here, and it's going to be used to do the same thing to our hood. Right? That'll be the locking latch for the hood latch. Now we need to put in the grill. the grill is going to press in from the back. Going to kind of line it up. And in this case, you've got the lip. So the flat side is the side that is going in. Could be a nice fit like that. Gives you that nice look. Right? We're going to take our blank symbol. There is a little notch there. Notch there. Line up the notches, and your screw holes will then line up. Come in from the back with some M2x8s. Either one of those actually went. So these have, there's supposed to be holes in it, but with the way that it prints, it actually, apparently it just filled it in with support and did not actually let that bit in, but apparently not. Should not be this hard. Apparently it's going to be a little bit more difficult than I needed and wanted it. got one to actually start biting in, but the others not. At this point, I'm about ready to just put a bunch of glue in it and call it done. All right, there's one screw in it for now. Don't think I have. When all else fails, grab some M2x10 self-tap. Solve the problem. Hey, Maker Viking, how's it going? Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, One Wolf Forwards, how's it going, Avia? Yeah, like you never left. True. Now we're going to install this on the front of the cab. It's just going to slide on, and we'll have some M2x12 cab. Front face is going to pop in there. And there will be screws that line up here and the one down here. So what I'm going to do, kind of put that there because that should help align up this bottom one here that's going to be the M2x12. Okay, and it's probably going to tell me to put something at the top, but guess what I'm going to do first? I'm going to put one of them M2x12s on the other side because it's going to tell me to do that. Because it'll tell me to do A and B and then tell me to go back and redo it to the other side. So just get ahead of the game. And 2x10s. Get that tube installed yet, Avia? And for those of you wondering, I do not have an order in yet for any of the +5, the Chivitech +5 machines. But I do have the Creator 5 and the Creator 5 Pro from FlashForge. I do have tracking on the ship right now, meaning it's on a boat, and I've got to track information to track the boat as it comes across. They should hopefully be here in a couple of weeks, and as soon as that stuff gets, start getting those orders out to anybody that wants to pre-order. Nudge, nudge, hint, hint. M2x16. These are going to be reinforcing screws coming in from the front. Go ahead and do both sides now. Doing well, the build's coming along. Once again, this is EPAC's Pet G matte khaki that we're doing this main body in. This has been some really, really, really nice filament. Okay, so this side gets our vent grills, come in from the back in 2x12. Okay, folks, so OBS just dropped and we're back now, so hopefully everybody's back up and seeing these. Have the tube sitting on your desk to admire. Oh, that's awesome. So while Avia was by here today, they were rooting around on the table over here and was like, "Want to sell a tube?" Or why not? Okay, so this piece is just going to slide through this slot with this little cutout. And then we're going to put 2 screws in it from the top down. Those will be M2x16s. And that's why we did that reinforcing screw. Basically, we're putting screws down through these 2 holes, going down into the side panel here. And that reinforcing screw is between this and the side panel. So it's going to help reinforce this connection right here so it doesn't break off. Wants us to do an M2x12 down at the bottom. Screw right. forcing screw. Now we're going to screw in our snorkel. This is a snorkel. This would be the air intake. M2 by 16 from this side. Oh yeah, it's definitely looking like a truck body. Ubuntu. All right. Tells us now to put the snorkel on the top. This will M2 by 20. I think that's 15. Right? Now we'll do the same thing on this side panel. We'll slide it in. And 2 by 16. Of course. 12, then the 16. All right, sounds good, Mod Light. Take it easy, and I'll let Mrs. Dragon know that you said hi. And I'll check my DMs. Oh, wait. Yeah, Maker Viking told Mod Light to check. Once again, we're going to do an M2 by 12 down here. And we're going to need a screw up here to hold that snorkel in 2 by 8. All right, now we have a hood. So we've got a couple of longer pieces here, and you'll notice that the clips are in different locations. They're overall the same length, but the clips are in different locations. So the ones with the clips closer to the outboard on the very, very top. That. Next one. Second one. Third one's going to be the little lift hand. Okay. I want us to place the hood. We're going to place the hood in there. Let's go ahead and lift up our two hinges. We'll just pull them forward and rotate them up. We need M2 by 8s. One or two of those ready. Sixes. Eights. Top one on that side. We'll do the top one over here. Up you. All right. I'm going to swap out to the other bit because it gives me a slightly better angle. Last two. Bottom ones. Once again, be careful when you start to get close to the end of these, and don't crank them with all the gusto. Do not want to break these. All right, so our hinges are now in, and we can close the deck lid. Nice sounding click. There's the deck lid fully installed. You'll be able to grab the handle here with your fingernail, start to lift it up, and then what I wind up having to do is just get my finger under one side and hold it up. Work my way over as my cabs move. Come on now. Pretty tight clasp, you can see. Now, you will be getting into this often, so this clasp will wear out a little bit or wear in a little bit over time. But kind of right down here in the hole is where you'll have access to the receiver and the on-off button for the motor. Hey, Shenanigans, how's it going? But so that's it right there for now. We're going to have our windshield wipers. And these are the same exact size, so it doesn't really matter which one goes where. I'm going to go in with M2 by 20s. Seem super duper long. What it is. There we go. How's it going, Shenanigans? Hope you're doing well today. Long time no see. I keep seeing your streams pop up, my friend, but during the workday, it's been so chaotic with the day job lately. There we go. So now we've got our windshield wipers on, our windshield nice and clean. And what else? We have one more little accent piece. Another little handle. Really matter. Pansy. There we go. Take your time. Go slow. You'll get it. And I think, yeah, we would need to put in the little, these are orange lights. I'm going to have to reprint those or print another set of those. I only had the one set that's on the other cab. Those are easy enough to pop in. Then we're going to install some fenders. We got our fenders. Easier to set this on its back. And got the screw holes are on this inner edge. This will just line up and you'll screw them in. Go the right direction, they'll actually line up. So this rear end is down there. So like that and like that. Screw them in with M2x10s. Get it close, and then we'll finish it off by hand just to make sure they're nice and snug. Now, I did see that ModBot did his fenders in the TPU, I think TPU carbon fiber. I think that's the new one from Soraya Tech. I did get some. I have some right over in the off screen there that I can try out. I did mine in PLA. We'll see if it holds up great. If it doesn't, then we'll try TPU, because that should help it hold up to some rough and tumbleness that this vehicle will see. Okay, so got our fenders on, and the cab is complete. Now this would be able to be put on the frame and mounted down. Once again, there will be 2 screws from each side here in the back, and then 2 screws right here. So you're going to need a longer driver to be able to get in right here. So just be cognizant of that. Now we may do something else while we have it here. They may, like, it's an really we're going to. We should be able to do a good portion of this without it being mounted on the lower frame yet. Once again, I still have not had a chance to sit down and try and go through the remote and figure out the remote control to set the end stops for the steering, right? The rear wheels, because we're doing the 6x6, the rear wheels will be steerable, and those rear wheels will go in the opposite direction about 38% of the travel of the front wheel. So you kind of really need to figure that out. Complete truck, exhaust system. This shows the rear bed frame already on there. We don't have that done. We can go ahead and prep these couple of parts. I think if it does lock into the base pieces, then we of course won't be able to do that. But on this piece right here, little jut out, we're going to put an M2x16 screw. Just a reinforcing screw. I'm going to couple these 2 parts. There are holes in here that we're going to screw through, and there is an that marks a direction. So parts will be secure, and on this piece, the arrow goes away from that hole. The arrow is going to be facing the back when you key that in. Far or not far? Here we go. Yeah, that's going to allow us to this piece in. Oh, up just nicely. M2x10 with one of the mounting brackets. So, bracket has an arrow, bracket does not. Remember, this bracket, M2x10s. And this goes all the way through that joint, so this really locks in those three pieces, makes it one piece. We're going to put this other one in here with that arrow facing towards the top of the smokestack. Again, with another couple M2x10s. Right? So this end that we put the reinforcing screw is going to go down and lock in on the exhaust pipe piece. And then these will screw into the back of the cab. Don't want to do that part just yet until we get this mounted. So we're going to hold off on doing this final piece here. I mean, we're going to do it. It's 3 screws. If I have to take it off later, I can take it off. Dang it. I don't think we'll have a problem getting this lined up, installed anyhow. Our cab. Doors do open. The angle on them. Like I said, these locking points here, they will wear in a little bit over time. Don't worry about that being very tight. You kind of want them tight anyhow for when you're rocking and rolling with this. That right there. torsion-free bed frame. Still going to need to do this. I think there's only one change to this when you go to do the camper versus the cab. That is here, and then we'll also, well, let me ask you all, do we want to put the bed frame together? Or do we want to decorate the cab with like the roof rack and everything? I'll let you all decide. We'll give you just a second to, reach out and engage and let me know. Do you want to start putting the bed torsion frame together, or do you want to put the roof rack together? Bed frame or roof rack? Is saying to put the bed frame together. Anybody else? Going once. Going twice. Alrighty. We're going to go ahead and do a bed frame. Hey Darth Gollum, how's it going? We'll come back and we'll do the pretty roof rack stuff later on. I went ahead and dumped this out because we're going to be looking for specific versions of some of these parts that will look very, very similar. Okay, so they're going to have different orientations on the arrows here, so all right, so there's our different orientations. Okay. So on this one, the arrow is going towards the nub, I guess. On the other ones, there's the nub and the arrow way. We'll need 1 and 1. And looks like we're going to need this piece. We're going to be looking for the arrows on each side. And all of the arrows are going to be going in the same direction. All arrows, same direction. Gas are going to go in here. Like so. So once again, the arrows are going this way, sitting on that lower shaft. And we're going to do the left and right holes in the direction of the arrow using M2 by 30 screws. So what I'm going to do to help get these lined up, I'm going to flip this over and set it down on these flats. If I set it down on this, either one of these could rotate one way or the other. By setting it down like this, I'm going to have the best stability. I'm going to go this direction with my screws. M3 by 30 or M2 by 30s. This is carbon fiber material. So to make my life a little bit easier, I'm going to drill these out. I have a feeling, yep. So the left and right, or excuse me, the left and right come in from one direction, the top and bottom come in from the other direction. So I'm also going to thread these. Otherwise, we're probably going to have a fight on our hands. Tired, been a busy month so far? I can agree with that. Winning by default, your favorite way of winning. Well, I mean, you're not wrong. You are not wrong there. And I am not going all the way through on these. I am just trying to get them started. That way it gives the screws something to start biting into. Bit on power there. All right, so once again, I'm going to set this up and we're going to have all of our arrows going in the same direction. All of our arrows are going that way. I'm going to flip this over, M2 by 30, and we're coming from this side over. And because these are the long screws, we're going to take and just dip the ends in some grease. And that's going to make it cut its holes or cut its threads a little bit easier, especially as we're going into a carbon fiber material. So once again, get it close and then finish off by hand. It tells us to turn around so that the arrows are coming to us, and we're going to do the tops and bottoms. So I'm just going to flip it back over. Have another couple of screws. And yeah, I was going to say it has been a busy month so far. So remember, folks, that next Thursday I will not be streaming. We've got a mandatory fun event at work. So there we go. There's our arrows heading towards you, left and right, up and down. That's one set. And we need this piece. So I need this piece, double angle bracket with the long flat side. We've got arrows that are coming towards me, okay? And this piece is going to mount on here, and all of the arrows are going to be going the same direction. Again, these are M2 by 30s. Go ahead and drill these out just to make my life easy. And we get a couple of threads tapped into this side. A little extra work to go through and do this, but it makes life a lot easier when you don't have to try and figure out how to get a screw with a stripped out or broken head back out. 30, so we'll grab some lubrication on that. Make sure that all of our arrows are facing in the same direction. Yeah, you will have participate and you will enjoy. Mrs. Dragon tells me that constantly. So arrow going to the left, arrow going to the left, arrow going to the left. All the arrows are going the same direction. Now we're going to take the other frame. It's going to go on this side, which means we're going to drill through this piece. That way it's a lot less that I have to drive a screw through. Yeah, they want us to be in the office Tuesday through Thursday. I think I'll make it Thursday. That's the all hands, the intern showcase, all of that good stuff. You know, that's when we're going to have FaceTime with the VP that's coming into town, not all the other days, because all the other days it's just them showing off. And that's all they want, is they want to show and be like, see, we all come into the office, look at all of our people. Like, so you're faking it. Don't really like that. I also don't like when our VP's like, oh, you should be in the office, you know, X number of days a month. And I'm like, you live in a place where we don't actually have an office. So when are you going into the office? Okay. Now we have that. It wants us to mount that in the bed frame. I'm going to do my best not to cry. So with the way this is going to mount in the bed frame and that we're screwing from the top down into the bed frame, please go. So screws coming down through the top of this down into the frame. Well, you see these little oval slits here? There's one there, there's one there. That's where you put a zip tie through, zip tie your stuff. My cables are currently zip tied right along the top of this. Means I'm going to be cutting a lot of zip ties and redoing the cables so that they are hanging down on the inside of the frame. Can probably be pushed around, you know. A happy little and yeah, mandatory fine. So we're not going to mount this in the frame just yet. Once again, I don't want to start mounting things to the frame, especially if we don't have the steering and geometry and stuff. We'll hold off on that. We're going to build all these pieces, do what we can, and then we'll install it on the frame all at once. Oh wow, hey look, it looks like we're going to do another type of. Yep, we're going to have the arrows going opposite of this arrow. This one's going to go this way. This one's going to go this way, and it's going to be the opposite of this arrow. Once again, I kind of see where the big holes are and the little holes are, or which way screws are coming in and going. Get those cut out, or drilled out. We'll drill these out. And I think at this point we're just going to Yeah, culpa it. And you go there, there. 2 by 30, left to right. See? Sure everything's nice and straight in 2 by 30s. Do you have to do mandatory fun, Avia? I know you're in IT. Kind of see if I'm just whining or, I mean, if Diesel's here still, he's going to say, yes, you're whining. At least when I make him go do mandatory fun, it's actually mandatory and it's fun. Been like, get in the truck, we're going to a show. Only just suggested, yeah. Like, I would really rather not do it at all, but one, I don't think I'm going to have a choice either from work or from Mrs. Dragons. So it will be what it will be. Once again, arrows are going in opposite directions. Oh, we're going to do 2 of these because we're doing the 6 by 6. Senior management is coming, everybody in the office this day. Yep. We get those a lot since it's like the headquarters is in Charlotte, too easy for them to visit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like the guy that does my job just the next level up, he's in Miami. Um, his boss, I think, is in San Jose, and then the other one, next level up, the one that's coming, I can't remember if he's in San Jose or if he's even like based stateside. All right, so we have 2 of these done. That one done. It's going to tell us to mount these. Yep. Just to mount those. Again, top down, top down. Okay, so now we get to start taking frame rails. Start assembling these together in 2x10s. Four of these if you're building a 4x4, 5 if you're building a 6x6. 1. Did you get your print going, Avia? Normally on those days, like I would go into the office, be there for just whatever the meeting was, and then I'd bag out. Be like, all right, I'm going, I got a long drive. I need to get back before XYZ. When we do the mandatory fund afterward, like, oh my God. Especially when it's like, you're not a manager, but you're a leader. Okay, need end with an arrow going towards us. So we've got the cutout. We're looking for this cutout with the arrow going inwards. And it's going to lock in with the part that has the double cutout with the arrow going in the same direction. And 2x16s. Written reusable spools for those. Are you doing it out of ABS or? I guess it wouldn't matter if they're all PLA, so even if you do throw them in a dryer, you should be at the lower temps. Okay, those two are done. Now we're going to do, oh, that one where they're going the opposite direction. I believe we're coming in with 10 zeros. We have a bunch of clearance eSun ABS. $1 a spool. You could have let me know. I've got some king rune over here that somebody gave to me. Okay, so arrows going out, arrows going out. Screws came in from the outer edge of where those arrows were. Slide a crossbar onto the rails. Crossbar. Okay. And 2x16. And down from the top. I appreciate you bringing Clover with you today, Avia. I know Mrs. Dragon was really happy to have them out. One more comes in from the end. Yeah, it took a while. I also appreciate you bringing the leaflet juice down, so we got that restocked. Got those two. One comes in from the front edge here. Work it down there. Don't get mallet happy. I was about ready to go looking for the mallet. And then don't be an idiot like me and put it in upside down. I'm an idiot. Son. Bigger hammer is always the answer. Well, I mean, you could also be reprinting parts as well. And yes, you were right. It was upside down. All right. Now what's up next? Put in screws. Put in screws. Double check the orientation of the parts. Flat end. That's where we have the cutout. So there we go. We're doing good. Put on the stubbies. Making sure that the arrows lined up when you do. And 2x16 coming from the outside. And folks, I'm sorry if I'm not chatting as much right now. I'm engrossed in the instructions, just so I don't screw it up again. Been going for a couple of hours. I think once we get this done, we're going to go ahead and call it. Not this specific piece, but we're going to try and finish this rack hole in the screen. Up next. Double check the orientation of the part. Arrows, 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 arrows. I'm looking at. Sort in the middle, close, close. Yes. And 6x6. We're gonna arrows going towards the outside. A lot of screws going. Did you imagine how boring this would be watching me screw all these in by hand? All right. Getting close here, folks. Got put in the frame pins. Frame pins have holes in them, so that's going to line up in the frame here and allow us to right. think we're good. M2x16s, yep, M2x16s. See how close I am in my hole alignment here. That was pretty good because that just went straight through like butter. Yeah, doing all this many screws by hand would definitely be slow. You'd wind up with like carpal tunnel. Like you're gonna make a doctor a good amount of money. Yeah. I had to do the other side first. I did this side. Oh well. You know. Make sure that they're all in the right direction, same direction. Line it up. Cool. This side has a noticeable gap. The other one's not having that issue. Why? That's not going in any way, shape, or form. I mean, that seemed to screw in nicely, so I guess there will be a couple of extra holes through that piece. Hey, Zohan. Yeah, this one was closer. The other one would have been further away. I was using it over at the other table, putting together the um, camper shell pieces. So this filament here is PET CF, not PET G, but PET CF. This was used in the frame, this torsion body or the torsion frame for the bed. For the frame rails, the shock tower mounts were all done in the PET CF, just to add a little bit more rigidity to those parts. Let me clean a couple of things up here real fast and put that. If I do have the Casadio hammer. I just had it over at the other table across the room and being lazy. So frame together, the long gap here is going to go at the end when we mount this onto the whole frame rails and such. Okay, gotcha. So this is basically going to be mounting like that. These, of course, will be sitting a little bit higher up than now. That'll be something like that where it sits on those. Awesome. These pieces will just get screwed directly on the frame. Again, the flatbed assembly, which it's already assembled. We're good to go there. All right, so I think we did good tonight. We've got quite a bit done. So we've got our cab done. We've got the torsion frame ready to be mounted onto the frame. We will mount that frame once we get the tires mounted. Really where we're at is I need to set the endpoints for the steering. And then once we do that, we can mount the 6 wheels. We mount the wheels, then we can easily mount our cab. We'll mount torsion frame, and then we have a flatbed that'll go with the other cab, the metal oxide green cab that we have built as well. And then we're going to be building, or I'm in the process of building the camper off stream right now. It's massive. And that will give me the option of swapping between a cab and a flatbed and then a cab and a camper. So filaments that were used, we used Variatech and Keditech F. Once again, that was for the frame rail, the cross members, the shock mounts and shock towers, and the torsion frame parts for the bed. The gears, all of the printed gears for the differentials, for the drivetrain into the differential, drivetrain gears itself, those were all printed out of Overture Easy Nylon, Max 4. The cabs The one cab is in bamboo metal oxide green and bone white, dark gray, and black. Dark gray being the interior accent, and black being, of course, the exterior trim in the window trim. All of the axle housing, okay, not the axle shafts. The axle shafts are easy nylon as well. The axle housings that all the gears go in are in straight bamboo PLA basic. And then the drive shafts are also PET CF. So I wanted the drive shafts to be as strong as possible because it's pushing that power through into the axles. The axle shafts and all the gearing within the axles was nylon, and it's straight nylon. I didn't want anything carbon fiber that's going to be in there that's going to be shaving off and messing up the grease. This cab here, the exterior cab panels are EPAX PET G matte khaki. The interior is latte brown. Get it open. The door, little locking pin, darn tight. There we go. So, latte brown on the interior, dark gray, black around the windows. So it's a pretty nice color combination. The camper is going to continue with this color combination. So we're making the Overland camper kind of a military, desertish color scheme, where the on-road flatbed will be the metal oxide green, which looks really pretty as well. But with that, folks, we've been streaming for a little over 2.5 hours, and it's been a long day. I think I'm going to call it here. I'm going to go home and get some sleep, and I will be back in the shop tomorrow for another fun-filled day here at Digital Dragon. So for those of you that are new here, my name's Digital Dragon, aka Luke, and I run a 3D printing store called Digital Dragon 3D in Sanford, North Carolina. So by day, we're running the shop, and I'm also working a day job as well. We run the shop. We do everything from commercial printer sales, from Flashforge, Keytech, and Bamboo. We do service and repair on those printers and others. And we also can do custom printer builds, either from kits that are out there or what have you. We sell filaments from Bamboo Lab and EPAX right now. We're looking to bring in Ambrosia from West 3D. Got various parts for the printers that we sell, as well as hot ends from Fadis, fans from Honey Badger, various build plates, so on and so forth. Kind of a little bit of a rundown of what we do and what we are. We do custom print jobs, prototyping, the whole 9 yards. For those of you that are new, there's a little bit of rundown on us. We stream Tuesdays, Thursday nights, and Saturday nights if I don't have a conflict with, the other job events or life. So there we go. Thank you everybody for being here. Have a good night, Eagle. And yeah, thanks for being here, chatting with me as we go through this build. And you all have a great evening. Bye now.